The brain stores memories through a complex process involving the formation, strengthening, and retrieval of neural connections. At the core of this process is synaptic plasticity, where connections or synapses between neurons are strengthened or weakened based on activity. When we experience something new, sensory information triggers electrical and chemical signals that travel across neural networks, forming short-term memories. Over time, with repetition or significance, these memories are consolidated into long-term storage, primarily in the hippocampus and later distributed across the brain's cortex. For example, learning to ride a bike involves the brain strengthening specific pathways for motor skills, so the memory becomes ingrained and automatic. Imagine memories as trails in a forest. Frequently traveled paths or strong synapses become clear and lasting, while unused ones fade over time. Scientists believe proteins, like those involved in long-term potentiation and changes in gene expression, play a critical role in maintaining these memory pathways. By understanding how the brain encodes, stores, and retrieves information, researchers are uncovering ways to improve learning and treat memory-related conditions like Alzheimer's disease.
The human brain stores memories through a complex process involving neurons, synapses, and networks of brain regions. Memories are not stored in a single location, but are encoded, consolidated, and retrieved through interactions across different brain regions, particularly the hippocampus, cerebral cortex, and amygdala. Memory formation relies on synaptic plasticity, where connections between neurons are strengthened or weakened. Additional explanation. The brain processes memories in 3 key stages. Encoding, information is transformed into a neural code. Storage, neural circuits maintain the memory over time. Retrieval, stored memories are accessed when needed. Example, when you learn someone's name, the sensory input, hearing the name, is encoded and stored by strengthening specific neural pathways. Analogy. Memory storage in the brain is like saving a file on a computer. The file memory is processed, stored in a particular location, neuronal networks, and retrieved when you open it. The hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure located in the brain's temporal lobe, plays a critical role in forming and organizing new memories. It acts as a temporary storage center, helping encode short-term memories into long-term memories through a process known as memory consolidation. The hippocampus is particularly important for declarative memories, facts, and events. Additional explanation: damage to the hippocampus, as seen in conditions like Alzheimer's disease, impairs the ability to form new memories, though older memories stored in the cortex often remain intact. Example: patient HM, who had his hippocampus removed to treat epilepsy, lost the ability to form new memories but retained past memories. Analogy: the hippocampus is like a librarian that organizes and categorizes new books, memories, before placing them on permanent shelves, long-term storage. Analogy: the hippocampus is like a librarian that organizes and categorizes new books, memories, before placing them on permanent shelves, long-term storage. Synaptic plasticity refers to the brain's ability to change the strength of synaptic connections between neurons. This is essential for learning and memory formation. One key mechanism is long-term potentiation, LTP, where repeated stimulation strengthens the synapse, making it easier for neurons to communicate. Conversely, long-term depression, LTD, weakens synaptic connections, pruning unnecessary pathways. Additional explanation. LTP is often observed in the hippocampus and involves neurotransmitters like glutamate binding to receptors such as NMDA, triggering molecular changes that enhance synaptic efficiency. Example: when you repeatedly practice a skill, such as playing the piano, the synaptic connections involved in that task are strengthened through LTP, improving your ability over time. Memories are categorized into short-term and long-term storage based on their duration and neural mechanisms. Short-term memory holds information for a few seconds to minutes and is maintained through active neural firing. Long-term memory involves structural changes in synapses and can last for years. Long-term memories are consolidated from short-term memory through repeated activation and rehearsal. The prefrontal cortex is heavily involved in short-term memory, while long-term memories rely on widespread cortical networks after being processed by the hippocampus. Reciting a phone number immediately after hearing it uses short-term memory, while remembering your childhood home requires long-term memory. Short-term memory is like jotting down notes on a whiteboard, while long-term memory is like engraving information into stone. Memory consolidation is the process of stabilizing and strengthening memories after they are initially encoded. This occurs in two main ways: synaptic consolidation and systems consolidation. Synaptic consolidation involves short-term strengthening of synaptic connections happening within hours of learning. Systems consolidation is the gradual transfer of memories from the hippocampus to the neocortex, which can take weeks to years. Sleep plays a critical role in consolidation, particularly during slow-wave sleep, when neural activity replays the day's events, reinforcing connections. During systems consolidation, memories become less dependent on the hippocampus as they are distributed across different cortical areas. After studying, a good night's sleep helps consolidate the information, improving recall the next day. Memory consolidation is like saving changes to a file and backing it up onto a secure external drive. The amygdala, located near the hippocampus, plays a key role in processing emotional memories. Emotional events activate the amygdala, enhancing the encoding and storage of these memories. This is due to the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which strengthen synaptic connections associated with emotional experiences. Emotionally charged memories are often more vivid and easier to recall due to the amygdala's modulation of memory pathways, but they can also lead to memory distortion over time. You are more likely to remember where you were during a significant event, like a natural disaster or a major life milestone, because the emotional weight strengthens the memory. The amygdala is like a spotlight that highlights emotionally important events, ensuring they are remembered more vividly. Memories are not stored in a single location, but are distributed across networks of neurons in the brain. Different aspects of a single memory, e.g. sight, sound, smell, are processed and stored in corresponding regions of the cerebral cortex. When you recall a memory, these regions are activated simultaneously, reconstructing the memory as a coherent experience. This distributed storage ensures redundancy. If one part of the brain is damaged through injury or disease, other regions can compensate to some extent, maintaining memory function. Remembering a beach vacation activates multiple brain regions, areas responsible for visual imagery, the occipital lobe, auditory processing, auditory cortex, and emotional responses, amygdala. This simultaneous activation reconstructs the entire memory experience. Distributed memory storage functions, like saving a single movie across multiple servers, where each server handles a different aspect of the film, such as audio, visual, or subtitles. This ensures that the complete movie can be reconstructed even if one server fails. Neurogenesis, the formation of new neurons, occurs in the hippocampus even in adulthood. These new neurons play a role in encoding new memories and integrating them into existing neural circuits. While neurogenesis declines with age, it can be stimulated through activities like exercise, learning, and reducing stress. Newly formed neurons are particularly plastic, which means they are more capable of forming strong and flexible connections with other neurons. This increased plasticity enhances the brain's ability to form and retain new memories effectively. Studies have shown that regular exercise significantly boosts neurogenesis in the hippocampus, the brain region involved in memory formation. This enhancement leads to improved learning and memory abilities in both animals and humans, highlighting the importance of physical activity for cognitive health. Neurogenesis is comparable to adding new workers to a team. These freshly formed neurons enhance the brain's ability to encode, process, and store new information more efficiently, much like how new team members can increase a group's overall productivity and adaptability. Forgetting is a natural process that occurs for various reasons, including the weakening of synaptic connections over time without use. Interference happens when new memories compete with old ones, leading to forgetting as the brain prioritizes the latest information. Retrieval failure occurs when memories are stored but cannot be accessed due to the lack of proper cues, making it difficult to recall information. Forgetting is essential for clearing irrelevant information, allowing the brain to prioritize and focus on important memories that matter most. For example, you might forget where you parked yesterday because that information is no longer relevant to your current needs. An analogy for forgetting is like decluttering your desk. Removing unnecessary items helps keep the workspace organized and efficient. Memory storage is a dynamic and distributed process involving multiple brain regions, synaptic plasticity, and neural networks working together. From encoding to consolidation and retrieval, the brain uses an intricate system to ensure that important experiences are remembered while irrelevant information fades. Advances in neuroscience continue to uncover the mechanisms of memory, offering new insights into learning, aging, and memory disorders. Understanding how the brain stores memories has significant implications for treating conditions like Alzheimer's, PTSD, and learning disabilities. The brain's memory system is like a library where books, memories, are continuously updated, cataloged, and sometimes removed to make space for new knowledge.